Hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. And hoy tengo un poco frío. A little bit chilly today here in Spain.
Vicky, otra vez.
Oh, sorry, I've got that playing on
Hoy
there.
tengo un poco.
What have I done there? Hang on, I've got it playing on my phone as well. Sorry, hang on. Okay, so, hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. So welcome. Now this is going to be a regular occurrence on a Friday at 12 o'clock. Yeah, los viernes a las 12 mediodía en España, in Spain, 12 o'clock in Spain. And it will be a members zone. I haven't constricted it to members because I haven't got enough members yet to make it, where I have a couple of members. I'm hoping to build up the members. The membership is only €2.99 a month. And for that, you come into the members live stream. You can ask me any question you like about Spanish or English. And we can talk. A lot of you have my books. Now I know there's a lot of people, I've got a lot of subscribers on this channel. I've got 2,020 2,200 and something subscribers. Now, there'll be a lot of you out there, maybe you can't come to classes, or you can't, the Zoom classes, the actual one-to-one classes, obviously, more expensive. So €2.99 a month, €2.99 a month to join my channel is a way that you can come on, buy the book off the internet, which is about, I think it's about €10. And you can come on whatever level you are and ask me any questions you want about the Spanish that you're doing. Okay, so that's the point of these lives. And I know I'm doing them more or less on my own to begin with, but I'm hoping that I will build up with people watching. So if today nobody comes on to actually ask questions, if you're watching at home and you've got some questions to ask about any aspect of Spanish or English, please just post a comment. Or if you can't make the lives on a Friday at 12, you can send your questions in to me beforehand by posting a comment on the previous video. I will get to see those. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for anyone to come along and ask questions is I've prepared a video for us to look at, which talks about meals in Spanish, how we talk about meals. This is one of my own videos that I made. Let me just come back to you, make sure it's, now think about meals in Spain, and we're going to learn how to talk, to actually say the names of different meals. But there's a very different way of eating, if you like, in Spain. Like it in Britain and probably in America, in all countries, there's sort of rough times that people have their breakfast, have their lunch, have their dinner, their evening meal. And I think you'll find that in Spain, it's probably quite different from where you are if you're not from a Spanish country. If you're not from Spain and you're not from a Spanish speaking country, you will find that the meals are different. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's play the video, and we're starting off with breakfast, which is el desayuno. And the verb to have breakfast is desayunar. Yeah, so we've got desayuno. El desayuno is breakfast, and to have breakfast is desayunar, the verb to have breakfast. Now, breakfast is a bit of a non-existent meal in Spain. In other words, they're not big on breakfast, so they might have a café con leche, coffee with milk, couple of magdalenas or maybe a bit of cereal, but it's not a big, breakfast isn't, because normally, as you'll see, in Spain, they eat their dinner quite late at night, so they're not normally so hungry at that time. So breakfast is likely to just be a café con leche and a magdalena, which, if you don't know what a magdalena is, it's a little sponge cake. There you go. There's a sponge cake. Well, so then comes because then as well. So I made this video before Microsoft changed the video making things on it, and I was really getting quite good at making videos. It's much more complicated now, and I find it quite difficult. But anyway, this is good video. At 11 o'clock, they're likely to have el almuerzo. Which we in English, I suppose, would call 11s, wouldn't we? Like just a little mid-morning snack. This is more important in Spain because they probably haven't had any breakfast. So this 11 o'clock snack is quite... Yeah, so the breakfast is, desayuno is virtually non-existent in Spain, as I was explaining earlier. But then 11 o'clock, about 11 o'clock, what we would call in English 11s, in Spanish is el almuerzo, and the verb is almorzar. Now, that is in Spain. That is not lunch. That is a little snack mid-morning to keep you going until lunchtime. Now, in South America, el almuerzo is lunch. So just to let you know, if you're in South America, you would use that word for lunch, not 11s, but not in Spain. Important. I just want to mention that, so it's el almuerzo, and the verb is almorzar. Have 11s. Now, in South America, el almuerzo and almorzar is to have lunch, not in Spain. So just bear that in mind. If you look it up in the dictionary. But there you go. I'm repeating myself now. I just want to say, I obviously felt like putting makeup on that day. I've got some quite nice makeup on, whereas today I haven't got any makeup on. Well, I've got my lipstick on, of course, always lipstick. But yeah, maybe I should have put some makeup on today. You may find that means lunch, but not in Spain, it doesn't. So for el almuerzo, they might have pan tostada, a little bit of toast with oil. They normally put oil, aceite de oliva, olive oil on their toast, maybe tomate, a little bit of sort of like chopped tomatoes, which is lovely, really nice, bit of salt, bit of oil, very nice. And that's, or they might have a little tapa, a bit of tortilla, or anything really, but just a small thing. Because then at 2 o'clock, a las dos, this is the most important meal of the day for the Spanish, which is lunch, or la comida. La comida, and the verb is comer. So it's the same verb to eat. It means to have lunch as well in Spain. And this is at 2 o'clock. It's almost sacrosanct. Like everybody eats at the same time. So if you want to go to the supermarket or to the shops when it's quiet, that's the time to go, because everybody's having la comida, or, it's just all the meal times in Spain are almost, unless work, for whatever reason, your work pattern doesn't allow you to eat at those times, everybody eats at the same times. So the breakfast, the desayuno I mentioned earlier, that would be up to about 9 o'clock or whatever until they start work. Then there's the more important meals, the almuerzo, the la comida. The lunchtime meal is very, very important in Spain for more than one reason. So it's not just a snack like we do. A lot of us in the UK would just have a quick sandwich for lunch. No, it's a 3-course meal. It's a starter. It's a main course. It's a pudding because it's the main meal of the day. And they might have it in a restaurant. You may have heard of the menu del dia, which every restaurant in Spain is legally obliged to offer a menu del dia, which is a cheap 3-course menu, basically, and it can go from as low as €10, up to about €20, but not normally more than that. If people possibly can, they will come home to have lunch, and that's when the family will get together, have lunch. It's a big, big thing, and it's not just a quick stolen half an hour. It's a proper sit-down meal. Probably watch a little bit of telly afterwards, maybe doze off on the sofa. So it's a bit of a misconception that Spanish people have a siesta in the sense of going to bed for 3 hours or whatever. That's not true. You might have a little doze on the sofa. You like to have a little doze after you've eaten a heavy meal, don't you? But it is a heavy meal that they have at lunchtime. That is the main meal, and it will always be accompanied by salad and bread. That is just the custom. Yeah, so I think certainly in Britain, lunch is normally a sandwich, isn't it? On the go, probably if you're working, just something quick. It's rare to have a big lunch, but not in Spain. Spain lunch is everything, everything. Because we're then in that murky area, which is mediodía, that midday, which doesn't really, it's not more, because morning goes up to 2 o'clock when we have lunch in Spain, and then nothing really happens again till 4, 5 o'clock. And then sometimes, mainly children, maybe at 6 o'clock, will have la merienda, or the verb. Yeah, la merienda. So that's like in English. The thing is, in the UK, in some parts of the UK, when you have your tea, that is your main meal of the day, isn't it? Your evening meal, but about 6 o'clock. Other parts of the UK, people eat a bit later, don't they? At 8 o'clock, say. Maybe more in the south of the UK. But not exclusively. We don't. It's not so much. But in Spain, tea time or merienda again is it's more for the kids really, because believe me, when you've had a Spanish lunch, you don't really want to eat anything else. Probably not even until the next morning. Because they're a big lunch. You're looking at salad, bread. 3 courses, coffee. Everything. So it might be for the kids like a little yogurt or something just to keep them going. It's nothing mega. It might be an apple. It might be a piece of fruit. So merienda is like just a little snack really in between lunch and then dinner, because dinner is quite late. Dinner will be maybe 10 o'clock. Is merendar. And this, yeah, so here's the verb, merendar. This is like, I suppose in English we would think it's like having your tea, but certainly in the north of England, when you have your tea, that's your dinner, isn't it? That's your main meal of the day. This is not that. Might just be a yogurt, some fruit. It's just something to keep you going then up till dinner time. And it's mainly children, probably adults as well. But I know that is for children, it's especially important for them just to have a little yogurt or something, just something to keep them going, keep their energy up. Then, so the main, we've already had that. You would have already had the main meal of the day then at 2 o'clock, la comida, and so the evening meal, la cena. La cena or la cena, but not cena.
So they wouldn't have it before 10. 10 o'clock is probably the earliest that you would have your dinner in Spain if you were Spanish. Maybe even 11 o'clock. In places like Madrid, it goes even later. And, you know, for us, that's sort of quite difficult, isn't it, to think about having a meal sort of so late at night at 10. But it's not a big meal, don't forget. So your la cena, and the verb is cenar.
Cenar. Cenar.
That will be, I don't know, just like an omelette maybe, or something light. It won't be like that unless it's a special occasion. So at Christmas and times like that, yes, it will be a big meal that goes on all night, or maybe if it was someone's birthday or a special occasion, a celebration maybe. But in general, la cena is more of a snack type meal, not as snacky as la merienda at 6. You know, it wouldn't just be a yogurt probably, but it might be a toasted sandwich, or, you know, it's like the reverse to how we do it in the UK. So in the UK, we tend to have a sandwich or a light snack at lunchtime, and then our main meal at night. In Spain, they do it the other way. So you're having your main meal at 2 o'clock, and then you're having like a light snack 10, 11 o'clock. And, you know, sometimes people say to me, oh, I don't think I could go to bed after I'd just eaten. But they don't go to bed after that. You know, it's quite unusual. What I've learned while I've lived in Spain is even the children, you know, I'm quite often in my bed and my neighbours' children are still playing out in the street because they don't seem to sleep much. You know, they go to bed late, they get up early. So it's not that they're in bed all morning. They go to bed late, they get up early, might have a little nap in the afternoon, but nothing mega, half an hour, dozing on the sofa. And yeah, they've got a completely different what's the word, timetable for the meals. So if you're living in a Spanish area and you're looking for food at about 6 o'clock, you won't find restaurants.
Yeah, it really is that rigid. And you know, if I, like when I've said to my neighbours or whatnot, so oh, I've got to go now, I'm going to have my dinner like at 8 or even 9, they're like, oh, that's very early to have dinner. You know, it really is entrenched, the times for these meals.
Restaurants won't be open. You know, I found that out years ago. Obviously, if you've got some expat restaurants around where you are, then they'll be open. You'll be able to get something to eat. Of course, now there's much more fast food where you can go to McDonald's more or less any time, etc. And that is the time to go to those places. You want to go and avoid the queues to go to for your fast food. Go before 10 o'clock. You'll probably be fine. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you found that interesting about the way meals are, what's the word, the difference in the culture of meals, if you like, in Spain as opposed to the UK. Once you understand it a bit better, you might understand some things about, you know.
Yeah, because if you, I've got a restaurant just at the end of my road, but it doesn't even open till 7:30. I mean, it's open in the morning for breakfast and it's open for lunch, and then it closes round about 5 o'clock and then opens again at 7:30. You know, so be aware of that, because if you are in Spain and you're in a very Spanish area and there are no expat restaurants, etc. I mean, obviously in Benidorm, you're going to get somewhere like that, you're going to always get food whatever time, because they cater for different nationalities. But yeah, a lot of the Spanish restaurants don't even open till 7:30, 7:30. So just be aware of that, because you have to change your eating pattern a little bit, you know, otherwise you're going to go hungry.
Why, when you go to a restaurant at 8 or 9 o'clock in Madrid in the evening, no, there's nobody there, there's only you sitting there eating, and then suddenly 10, 11 o'clock, everybody comes in. That's just the way it is. So yeah, so why not, you know, what do you think about it? Do you think that way is better, the way they eat is better, or do you think it?
Yeah, what do you think about it? I mean, it's you you know, really, I think in Britain, I've sort of now I'm at this sort of, I don't quite eat in a British way and I don't eat in a Spanish way. I often really eat later rather than earlier. And I don't think that's good, because the problem is, for Spanish people, they'll have their main meal at lunchtime. So in the evening, they'll only have a light meal, whereas I like to have my main meal in the evening. And I just can't. I've tried doing it the other way around. And you know, it's funny how these things are so entrenched in you. You know, even though I've come to live in this country and I'm, you know, and I can see why they do it that way around. It's so hard to change the habit of a lifetime. So I end up eating a big meal late, which of course is really not good for you at all. So, you know, do everything wrong every day. I think, no, I'm not going to do it today. And then I'd still do it.
It's better the way we eat in the UK. Let me know, or anywhere else in Europe, because I think in some countries in Europe, they're different again. But I think definitely there won't be anyone who eats as late in the evening as the Spanish do. But anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you want to learn Spanish, you can ask me about Zoom classes, or if you want to buy my books, you can buy them on any Amazon site. Break the Language Barrier, levels 1 to 5. Also, my little storybook, bilingual books, are all available on any Amazon site. Vicky Riley with an I. So, te veo muy pronto en el próximo video. Y hasta entonces que tú...
Right, I'm not going quite yet. So I'm going into my goodbye on there. So I'm not going quite yet. But nobody's come on to ask me a question. So I will be going very shortly. So what I'll do is I will just keep doing these live streams, and hopefully eventually people will get into it. It's funny because I have another YouTube channel and the lives are more popular than the videos, but it's the complete opposite here. People don't seem to like really joining the lives for whatever reason. But anyway, hopefully eventually they will. But this will convert into a video that you can watch at your leisure. So if you're watching this now, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you found it useful, interesting. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, oh, yeah. Until then, may your God... Oh, no, I'm on the wrong YouTube channel. I have a hello and a goodbye on each of my YouTube channels, and I'm getting mixed up. I'm just thinking, actually, I may just show you something else before I go. Yes, so if you are interested in learning Spanish at home, I want to tell you about my books, and this video is going to just tell you about the books, just in case.
Have you ever thought about learning Spanish? Try my Break the Language Barrier series of books available on Amazon. There's levels 1 to 5. So whatever level you are.
Yeah. So whatever you level, whatever you've done before or haven't done before, there's a level for everyone. Level 1 is for beginners and beginners with a base. Level 2 concentrates on the past tenses. Level 3 concentrates on future tenses, pour and para, imperatives. Level 4 concentrates on the subjunctive. Don't let that frighten you if you're a beginner. And level 5 practices all those things. So all those books are available on Amazon, and you can study them at home. If you're not sure of what level you should be, because maybe you've done some before, but you're not sure if you're quite good enough to go to level 2 or 3 or whatever, please contact me, because I will help you to decide which is the best book for you. So if you do Zoom classes with me, the books are included in the price of the classes. But if you want to come and do it like through, because I have a YouTube video that supports every lesson that's in the book, so you can do it at home using the book, using the YouTube channel. So that's obviously a more cost-effective way of doing it. And sometimes it's not about money. You just may not have time to sort of devote to, regular classes. So you can just jump in on the YouTube when you've got time.
Whether you're a beginner or you're more advanced and you just want to practice what you've learned, there's a book for you. If you're not sure which level you are, get in touch with me and I will help you to decide which book is the best for you. Also, if you're interested in Zoom classes in Spanish, those can be arranged. I've got some timetable left. Now, these books, the explanations are in English, the answers are in the back, and each exercise you do in these books is backed up by a YouTube video to practice your pronunciation and listening. Okay, so they're available on Amazon, Vicky Riley, Vicky with an I, and all available on Amazon. Thank you.
There you go. So I just wanted to let you know about the books in case they interest you. Okay, so I'm going to go now. Nobody's come on to ask me a question. It'll be a big celebration when somebody does join in one day and ask me a question. So thanks for watching. So, gracias por mirar. Te veo muy pronto en el próximo video. I'll see you really soon in the next video. Y hasta entonces, que tu Dios vaya contigo. Dios.